okay? And then he's gonna find the tap. Imagine that I'm surfing on top of it. As I'm moving, I'm making big motions. I'm allowing enough motion so I don't have to burn out in any given situation, but I'm able to stay ahead and make adjustments, small adjustments. I don't want to be static with them. I want to be dynamic and staying on top. So can I use you real quick? Okay, so again, we're going to be wide knees most of the time, not always. I'm going to have to make some small adjustments as we go. And I want to be able to isolate an arm. We're going to do an Americana, which is going to be isolating an arm, attacking, and it's going to be a shoulder joint attack, right? Familiar to everyone? I like to attack it maybe similarly, but maybe slightly different, and then I'll have one that I'm pretty sure is going to be different than what you have seen, but same general mechanics. So one of the things I want to be able to do to get this isolation is oftentimes, especially when you're early on, people learn, okay, keep these arms in, it's going to be really difficult to be able to get there. And that's probably also why you guys get showing like S-mount arm bars and that kind of stuff, or even coming up to S-mount and then doing triangles, is because if they stay in tight, you can start attacking that. Another thing that I like to do is I'll get just into the crook of the elbow, because that's usually still available, right? He's gonna be hard pressed to like keep this super in. So what I'm gonna do is, as I come on top, I'll just cover this wrist, right? And I'm putting my weight down on his wrist so it's nice and tight to his chest. He wants it there anyway. He shouldn't really make that big of a reaction. And as I come in, I'm gonna be able to get underneath the elbow crick and then try to grab the deltoid if I can. So as I am able to start flaring, that's when I'm gonna come over the top, flare my elbow up, and then replace my chest where my arm was. So he's gonna start getting kind of collapsed. If he has any mobility issues here whatsoever, he's gonna start straightening his arm out. As I come forward, I'm just trying to scrape my body forward here, and he's like, oh, it's popping out. So what I don't wanna do is, it's starting to look like it's getting nice and meaty and available to be attacked. I don't wanna come here. What is he gonna do? He's gonna come right in and reestablish, right? So I wanna come flare, and I wanna come across to the throw. One nice thing too is if he keeps staying strong, I can start attacking this fake choke. It's not really gonna get him to have a choke here, but then I can swim my hand in, and now I have the wrist. I can put my Americana lock in, elbow down, as close to the neck as I can, because now what I can do here is I can take my top hand, the hand that I can look if I had a watch face, and I'm gonna be pushing that down and scraping as I'm holding the other hand in. I want to have this be compact and tight. What I don't want is I don't want to be trying to finish way off here, because this is where I start to lose it. I don't have as much pressure. He can maybe straighten his arm out or even just make this so it's really difficult to finish. So I want to be pushing my right hand down as I'm scooping my left hand up, like I'm trying to stab him in his lap, okay? And then he's gonna find the tap. Notice my elbow's down and my other elbow is staying up. It's not going flaring up. I don't wanna tap this way. I wanna be putting his knuckles dragging across the mat, okay? So I wanna access it. I'm gonna come over the top. I might even put my blade of my bone in here and just rest on it. Bring my left hand back, scoop up the elbow, try to grab the deltoid. It's not that important that you grab the deltoid, it's just you're trying to reach. That allows my elbow to flare up, and I can come off to the side, swim on the inside, and even if earlier I get here, I put my weight, my pressure here, swim in. He's trying to bring his elbow down, like to the wrist, and I'm just gonna push it to the mat. So I can get my elbow right to by his ear. I cover my own watch here, and now I'm trying to bring his knuckles in, even if it's turned a little bit. I'm trying to rotate his knuckles to the mat, holding my right hand downward, and my left hand is gonna cause that rotational motion towards his back. And get the tap. Go nice and slow, go nice and easy. Do you wanna see it?
I think
We're good? All right, any questions? All right, break on one clap. Again, when we're on the mount, we're trying to make sure we're able to control. One easy way is I'll tuck this head and I'll put it off to one side a little bit. It makes it really hard for him to do anything really. If he's off to the side, it's really not very fun. and it makes it a lot easier for me to come up and put this wrist up, right? So he's gonna be, okay, he might be trying to make a big bridge and like throw me off. I throw him to the side a little bit, and that allows me to settle him down a little bit to get here. Now I'm gonna put my chest weight on top of this. I'll come back just a little bit. I don't need to go much because I keep his elbow really tight. It's really hard to get there if I don't put pressure here. And then I'm just gonna get the nub, just a little bit. All I need is the little nub to flare it open, right? And I can get nice and deep. I'm gonna start scraping forward, and I wanna come on the inside, right? If I can grip, start choking him, opening him up, right? And I'm gonna swim inside. He's gonna be trying to keep this elbow coming down, swimming on the inside, and I'm just driving my elbow to the mat. That's the most important thing, to open him up. I'm not trying to push this to the mat and go here. That's when it starts to loosen up, okay? So as I'm here, as I swim, I'm now sliding my elbow forward and dropping it. I'm collecting, and I'm pulling it nice and tight. This is the adjustment. I'm sliding it tighter. And by sliding it tighter, I'm bringing the elbow down, so now it's already starting to get attacked. Rather than trying to finish up here, I'm already seeing this shoulder attack. Okay, pulling this nice and tight, pushing this hand down to my knee, the right hand down to my knee. The left hand is going into his lap. There we go. Yeah, that was like this. And one other thing is, I don't need to grip the wrist. See how I can go over the top? Like an orangutan grabs a tree branch. If you don't know, orangutans go over the top. They don't grip it like this. And then I can really put a lot of pressure and finish. Any questions there?
So how is the start different here? It's just a matter of how you grab it.
It's a small adjustment of pulling from here, pulling that left elbow in this case closer down his back. So here, let me show it on you just real quick, so you can feel the difference slightly. So I'm here, I got this. If I try to finish here, I probably will. But if I pull this closer, see how it's tighter early. That's the only thing, is I'm just pulling the elbow down and taking out all the slack. And then that way, I make that downward spiral motion. That's what's actually causing the Americana. It's not just down, it's not pulling in, it's a downward spiral, and that's how you get to finish. Good question though. Anything else? All right, let's go ahead and drill that. 1, 2. Off balance, a lot easier. So I want to stay pretty close and well, knees wide, and have that frog or fishtail stance. So I can, so as I start reaching back and he sees that, he bumps me a little, and I have to make that big motion, maybe that's where he gets his guard recomposed, right? So I want to be heavy on him and open up just enough that I can get that, just enough. I just need a little bit here. And now as I slide my arm up, it's uncomfortable for him. And if I can just touch the deltoid, I'm gonna start driving that forward here. Now, if I just try to go here and push him out, I probably won't. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I swim inside, hand against the chest, inside, like I'm gonna try to get that like semi-paper cutter choke. I don't need to, but I'm just gonna get in here. Now I can swim in because I have the attack angle. If I just try to go right to it, it's gonna be really hard. But if I get where I'm already in and I'm opening him up, now I can start getting to that wrist, punch it down, get my elbow down, and finish. Okay? So that's the part that I'm really trying to emphasize is as I'm here and I'm switching to get that Americana grip, this is where he's gonna start going buck wild if I really try and grab it right there. I gotta sneak it in here, then make it so he can't go anywhere, and I can get the grip, drop it in, okay? Next thing we're gonna do is, I can't, for whatever reason, get it isolated, but I can still get the grip. Sometimes I'll go directly to this. Now there is a little bit of like strength prerequisite for this, so it's not always gonna work, but it is something that I like to be able to attack, which is if he's here nice and tight, and I have the crossface underneath, I'll still open up, drive. I'll often try to grab the head too, drive it forward, and then reach back up just enough, and I'll push it down to the mat, And then he's gonna start trying to straighten it out or whatever, and I'll tuck it behind the back of the head. This time, I usually will step up, but making sure I'm not allowing him to get his knee back because I want to make sure I keep that sealed off so he doesn't get his guard retention, right? I'll step up. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to finish the same way in essence, but I'm just going to do it even though I have his head trapped, right? So I'm going to drive into the Americana and really try to put it to the mat. And I'm trying to draw like a what is that, crescent, right? Not quite
Quarter
a
circle.
semicircle because it's not going this way. It's like a little bit of an angle, almost like a J or something like that, right? So I'm getting here. It's going to be hard to finish without pulling it in hard, okay? If I stay here and I'm trying to pull it in hard, this is where if he's strong, he's going to be able to either straighten it out one or do a really big bridge to his right side, and I won't have, it'll be harder to stop. Okay, so I'm disengaged, but there I want to sink in and put heavy chest and finish Americana. So again, we're going to be getting in here. I often will pull up the head. I'll reach back and just get a nub. And I slide up. He's going to keep it down as hard as he can. I slide it up. If I can go grip my cover or wristwatch, kicks in. I start driving forward. And once I can get it high enough, I'll reach the far head, get there, drop. If I can, switch over to the other side, finish an Americana. That's preferred because it's a stronger and easier finish. But this oftentimes he'll start trying to pull his elbow back, and he's really gonna, I'll put it right behind the head, step up a little bit, again, low, and I'll keep pulling it back as I need to, and I'll finish here. I do this all the time. It's really fun. And one thing is if he, if I can't quite get it and he, comes into me hard or starts retaining his guard, boom, I have my arm bar as well. So I have a good next step. Any questions there?
Yeah. I'm kind of confused about the purpose of the step out. Just like as soon as you have it locked
It's a
in.
balance.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening here, once you do that behind the head, access it.
You're saying like here?
Yep. So if he has here, don't do the step up. What I'm going to be able to do easier is open that up and start pushing him down and get my elbow out. Not guaranteed, but it's going to allow me to be able to, or even come this way and start opening up. Harder to hold. Now he does the same thing, but he has a leg kicked out.
Like that?
Yeah. Now I don't have anything, right? And I'm putting the same amount of effort into both. I'm not putting fake effort in one or the other.
Yeah.
It's a kickstand, and he's heavy, right? That's what the difference is. Versus here.
Like, was I too low in terms of being heavy?
No.
Okay.
You want chest over chest, maybe even a little bit higher. It's not an exact science, but yeah, you want the chest over the top, like almost to the clavicle.
Okay.
Is most of your weight.
So like,
yes, ideally. It's a good question though. Anything else? You want to test it out? All right. 1, 2.